Plastic is a beautiful and decorative material. With its polished edges, it literally sparkles in the light. But how do they polish those edges? And what do I do when the plastic gets scratched? This video will show you how to make your plastic items beautiful and keep them that way. First, let's talk about the different types of plastic. Many plastics, such as eyeglass lenses, may have a coating. Coated plastic cannot be polished or repaired using the methods we will describe here. The three most common clear plastics that we will mention here are acrylic, polycarbonate, and styrene. Many decorative plastic items are made out of acrylic because of its unusual clarity and beauty. Acrylic is one of the most easily polished plastics available. Polycarbonate, an extremely tough plastic, is often used in areas of high impact because of its resistance to breakage. It can be recognized by its dark edge. Here it is compared with a piece of acrylic. Polycarbonate can be polished, but with different methods than acrylic, and it lacks the sparkle of acrylic. Finally, styrene is used for inexpensive applications. You can recognize it because it is often injection molded, leaving behind injection marks. It also has a much more brittle feel than acrylic or polycarbonate. Styrene ages quickly when used outdoors, and it permanently yellows with exposure to UV, as you can see with this piece here. We will not cover the repair of styrene because it is such a fragile material. Let's start with edge polishing. The simplest way to polish acrylic is with MAPP gas torch. Propane does not produce a hot enough flame. You can obtain a MAPP gas torch from most any hardware store. When a piece of acrylic is saw cut, it has a rough edge as you see here. Passing the torch along the edge instantly polishes it. However, you can still see the saw marks. To achieve a finer edge, if you have a router, route the edge before flame polishing. If you do not have a router, you can sand the edge, as we will show you shortly. Routing will remove the saw marks, leaving a much finer routed edge. When this is flame polished, an even better edge appears, as you see here. For an even finer edge finish, route the piece, then use a sander with 320 grit sandpaper to remove all the machine marks. This will produce a frosted but smooth edge. Flame polish this and you will have a showpiece finish. For the ultimate in edge polishing, or for acrylic 1/2 inch and thicker, use a buffing wheel. Edge polishing polycarbonate is a completely different story. We will use the MAPP torch to demonstrate. As you can see, the torch burns the plastic. A more effective polishing method is the buffing wheel. Sanding is first recommended, and because polycarbonate is softer than acrylic and not quite as clear, it will never have the same shine as acrylic. And be sure to use a gentle touch when buffing. Another shop trick commonly used is to apply acrylic cement to a rag, be sure to wear protective gloves, and wipe the edge of the polycarbonate. This too will create a polished edge. It only works for polycarbonate, however. Never use this method with acrylic. Surface scratches detract from the appearance of any plastic part. There are a couple of methods in dealing with scratches. If you have a buffer, this is the quickest and easiest way to remove mild scratches. This method can be used on either polycarbonate or acrylic. Again, make sure you are not dealing with a coated plastic. If you do not have a buffer, the Novus system works well. First, if the scratch is so deep that it catches your fingernail, then it is too deep to repair with this method. Novus is a 3-part system. Novus number 3 is the coarse one, and you use it first with a clean rag. Note, do not start with number 3 when working on polycarbonate. After rubbing thoroughly with number 3, clean the surface and use number 2. and then finish with number 1. Please see our video, How to Repair CDs and DVDs, for complete details. With a little practice and the right materials, you can create and preserve the beauty of plastic.
Tap, tap plastics, the fantastic plastic place.